I love that your story, you have so much purpose and mission. Um, and I find it fascinating that you say you became bored with early retirement, that that you needed that sense of purpose.
I do.
Yeah.
We all, as humans, need purpose every day. We need purpose to be able to even get up in the morning. And I think when you have that purpose on every morning to wake up, it truly, drives you as a human being. Because as human beings, in order for us to be able to function, we need to have purpose.
Mhm.
And for me, when I sold our first company, that purpose was gone for me.
Growth and scale is often about having the right tools and strategic partners. Welcome, friends, to another episode of The Lawyer Millionaire, the podcast that focuses on empowering law firm owners like you to achieve financial brilliance in running your business and managing your personal finances. I'm your host, Darren Wirtz, financial planner and wealth strategist for law firm owners. It's with great excitement that we introduce today's guest, a dedicated entrepreneur who has committed herself to making life easier for law firm owners across the United States. Highly respected by entrepreneurs, accountants, and attorneys, she serves as the CEO and founder of Corpnet.com, a remarkable platform designed to help launch, manage, and expand your legal practice. Please join me in welcoming Nellie Akalp. Nellie, welcome to the show. We're excited you're here.
Thank you so much for having me, Darren, and excited to be here.
Yes, I'm really thrilled. I don't think we've had someone like you on before, and to talk about your expertise and tips you might have for law firm owners. I want you to give you an opportunity to share with us your entrepreneurial journey. And as I understand it, you do share many things in common with lawyers. You went to law school yourself and
Yes.
then became a creator and an entrepreneur. So tell us a little bit about your story.
Thank you so much. So, yes, I am an attorney. I'm not licensed and went to law school, graduated back in 1998. And truly, my goal was to practice as a lawyer. But then when I graduated law school, I realized that the salary that I was going to receive as an entry level lawyer wasn't going to be able to support the lifestyle and the vision I had for myself, my husband, and our, then growing family. And right out of law school, my husband, also a lawyer, he actually practices and is admitted to the California bar. He had graduated a year before me, and he had come up with this phenomenal idea of why don't we streamline and simplify the business startup and expansion process when it comes to assisting entrepreneurs and also legal and financial professionals in starting and expanding their business. And he came up with this phenomenal idea of why don't we offer this online and make it simplified so that everyone, in the nation can utilize it and also be able to afford going into business for themselves as at a fraction of the price as to what an attorney, an accountant, a CPA would charge them. So in 1997, he came up with the phenomenal idea of incorporating online, put up a one-page website, and then soon thereafter, I was working for a family lawyer at the time, and I was really struggling because I'm a really happy person. I'm really one that likes to be in vibrational flow and positive energy, and having to go to court with clients who were unhappy because they were going through a divorce was really, really sad for me. And
Mm.
he asked me to join him, And we come from two different backgrounds. He's very tech oriented and has a very brilliant mind. And I come from the world of execution and marketing and sales, and always been really great at running with an idea and expanding on an idea. So we make a good team, and we partnered together at the time, and our first company was born. And we grew that company to where it was nearly doing $1 million in gross profits. And fast forward to 2005, we were blessed with the opportunity of an acquisition. And so perfect timing for us, because I had 2 kids at the time, and I had just given birth to my 3rd child. And so it was perfect timing for us to make an exit and focus on our then growing family. And after a while, how many handbags are you going to buy? How many shoes are you going to buy? You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it took a while for me. And what happened was I got bored, and I was tired of an early retirement. So I was very young, I was too passionate, and I was frankly too bored to be just sitting at home doing nothing. And I've always been a very, very active person. So we decided to come up in, it was, I believe, 2009, with our current company, Corpnet.com. It was when the non-compete had ran out, and it was time for me to start the next chapter of my life. So we started Corpnet. Corpnet was really, the only name out there that was 2 syllables and super easy for people to connect with, and as close as we could get to what the services were that we were going to offer. And so we started Corpnet. And truly, at the beginning, we started Corpnet because of the fact that when we sold our first company and decided to take an exit, and during the time that we were under our non-compete, we were looking at the industry, and the industry had become fully commoditized. And we really weren't happy with what we were seeing as far as what the competition was offering as a service where it could truly, truly help the entrepreneur, the self-employed, the solopreneur, the professional. And I've always been a huge, huge advocate of customer experience, and truly, providing the customer with what they need rather than it being like a switch and bait type of a technique. So when I started our current company, Corpnet, it was really built on the foundation of coming back into the industry and providing a seamless solution for the end user, albeit it be a entrepreneur, a lawyer, a CPA, a consultant, but truly a seamless solution where not only they can know and have the peace of mind that their business is starting properly, but also the fact that they don't have to worry about their information being sold to third parties and having to be faced with multiples of subscriptions, but really the peace of mind that we're here for them. We're their partner in, helping them start their business, manage their business, run their business, grow their business, and truly help them in being their partner when it comes to any aspect of the business startup process, the business expansion process, and the compliance process in all 50 states.
Yeah, that is so exciting. So you really took your skills as an attorney and
Yes,
thought, how can I take this to the next level? And
exactly.
thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm really passionate about. And for me, and truly for anybody who I've always come into contact with, I've always told them that if you're doing it for the money, you're never going to be successful. You got to love what you do and you
Yeah.
got to be passionate about it. And that's one thing that has really driven me, you know, for the entire amount of time that I've been an entrepreneur, and that's been a long time because, growing up, even as a teenager, my parents always struggled, and even through the struggle, they always wanted to have their own business and be their own boss. So I was exposed to entrepreneurship at a very young age
Mm.
and really exposed to all of the struggles, even my parents and my grandparents used to face. So through all of that, I feel it was all a learning opportunity for me, and
Yeah.
everything I went through, I learned, and I kind of, turned it into an opportunity and a learning experience for myself, and how I didn't want to follow in their footsteps when it came to how to run a business, and I think it's, truly why I am where I am, and the success we have with Corpnet is because of the fact that the customer is always the key for us. They're, no matter who they are, no matter how big they are, how small they are, they're always our priority. And it's always been our mission to inspire, educate, and support entrepreneurs and business professionals in business together.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. I love that your story, you have so much purpose and mission. Um, and I find it fascinating that you say you became bored with early retirement, that there was that you needed that sense of purpose.
I do.
Yeah,
We all as humans need purpose every day. We need purpose to be able to even get up in the morning. And I think when you have that purpose on every morning to wake up, it truly, drives you as a human being, because as human beings, in order for us to be able to function, we need to have purpose.
mhm,
And for me, when I sold our first company, that purpose was gone for me,
yeah,
and it was like the death of kind of like a baby, because
mm,
when you start a business, it's like a baby, you have
yeah,
to water it, you have to attend to it. And, after having my first company for about 8 years and then having it, you know, having to exit the company, it was really bittersweet. I'm blessed, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I wouldn't change a thing about it. But there's also this bittersweetness that comes with it, in that you you sit there and you're like, okay, now what?
yeah,
And for me, it came to a point truly that I was selling t-shirts out of the back of my car. And that's how much purpose I needed, in
yeah.
life. So, yeah, I'm grateful to have been given that opportunity to start again, and
Mhm.
it's been a really amazing ride so far.
Yeah, I find it interesting because I think a lot of lawyers and law firm owners have a similar feeling about retirement. I mean, there's some that they want to retire and they want to, go enjoy, living in a house on the beach and just, relaxing and not having to think about stuff. But I find that a lot of lawyers and law firm owners, the way they're wired, they want to be involved. They've got to be busy. They need that purpose. And I find inspiration in your story because I think a lot of law firm owners and lawyers can realize that there are other things they can do. Just thinking outside the box. A lot of times we just think, well, it's growing a bigger business and scaling the business and so forth. But there's actually a lot you can do if you just start thinking a little bit more creatively.
Yes. And I can't agree with you anymore in that, and I'm speaking about myself, even myself or my husband, lawyers like to grind. And, you know, I I think the purpose of this podcast, one of your purposes, is to help the legal professional market, especially in that kind of self-employed arena, to
Yeah.
really think outside the box as to you can have your freedom and run a law firm and, be able to build your law firm. And with a company like our company, Corpnet, we provide comprehensive, cost-effective services whereby legal and financial professionals can partner with us and use us as a platform, as a fulfillment resource to build their business. And how do you do this is because we create this complete, we take the headache off of the lawyer's lap and we take care of it. What does this do in turn? It allows the lawyer to charge their billable hours without having to do the legwork and, subcontracting it out to us to do the legwork for them. And it allows more time for them to go attract more clientele and build their revenues. It also creates an opportunity for them to create more services and to attract their clients earlier on when it comes up, when it relates to the business startup process. They can be engaged with their clients earlier on, and they can ensure that that client is not only getting the proper advice when it comes to their business startup process or expansion process, but also having the peace of mind that by having us be their fulfillment partner, everything is being done properly for them and there's no room for errors or mistakes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that in like real life example terms. You mentioned that it can allow you to have an earlier starting point with a client.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So great question. Let's say you have a client who comes in and their CPA has advised them to set up a California LLC. Okay. And the client's still on the fence and they're like, well, should I do an LLC or an S Corp? And which one is going to give me more liability protection? Because the liability protection is the part where the lawyer comes in. So they'll walk into the lawyer's office and they're like, hey, I need to form a corporation or an LLC. My CPA tells me it's better for me for tax purposes to set, an entity instead of being a sole proprietorship or a partnership, because I have a lot of assets and, I need to, put the business in a legal entity so that I can have liability protection, asset protection. And the question for the lawyer is it better for me liability wise to go with an S Corp versus an LLC? And at that point, the lawyer can not only advise them as to the type of entity, but also provide them with that service at, a reasonable price, And oftentimes, lawyers can charge a lot of money, to set up a business entity. But in this day and age, with how many do-it-yourself type of services are out there, it would behoove them not to charge a reasonable fee and keep that client rather than having that client do it on their own and making the mistake. So at that point, once that lawyer has advised that client as to the options available for them and the client chooses, at that point, the lawyer can be like, hey, we can do this for you for X dollars, all in. And the lawyer can either the lawyer has two options. If they've partnered with us, whereby they're a reseller of our products and services, then they would sell it as their own service. If they don't want to be the go-between, the lawyer can simply say, hey, we can do this for you. We have a trusted partner where we refer all of our clients to. They can take care of all of this and more. And rest assured, you're going to be taken care of. And that's basically an affiliate relationship where they would be a referral partner of ours. And in that sense, the attorney would not be the go-between. They would refer their client to us. Client would come to us, we would take care of them, and then bring them back to the attorney. In both instances, here the client is being taken care of, and the lawyer is looked upon as the client's hero, because not only the client was given advice, sound advice, but also a solution as to how to form the company, And I think in this day and age, people need that.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, you need to do this, now go figure it out. And that's what we're trying to eliminate, is we're trying to become the legal professional's partner in not only being able to have them guide their clients properly, but also having the solutions at their fingertips to actually, whatever they're advising their client, the client can act upon, and they can also do it for their clients as well.
Yeah, that's a very innovative approach. I think a lot of business owners, when they first start their business, they are trying to cheap it a little bit. I mean, they don't have a lot of assets or cash
That's
maybe just
exactly right.
yet.
Yes.
So if you can start that relationship with an attorney and with a client who is just in the beginning stages, and then hang on to that relationship and build that relationship, then when that client is bigger and more productive and profitable, and they need more advanced, more sophisticated legal services for other things, they're going to have you there. They're going to think of you because you already built that relationship with them. So
Correct.
yeah, that's great. And the other thing I was thinking of is, maybe it makes life easier for you as the attorney because, somebody comes to you with, something simple, and maybe you're like, I don't really want to go through the hassle of doing that. But this way, you have a simple way of doing it, and building that relationship.
And to add to that, there's a lot of nuances and new rules and laws and regulations that come into effect that an attorney, I wouldn't expect them to want to, know, because they're probably inundated with client requests. And those are the things that we, as a resource to the legal professional, can keep them up to date with. For example, let's say an attorney has multiple clients, and each of those clients have multiple business entities, and the client is asking that lawyer to ensure that all of their business entities are kept in compliance. Because as we all know, once you form a corporation or an LLC, for example, there are compliance formalities and steps that need to be abided with to keep that corporation or LLC in compliance with state laws. Otherwise, that corporation or LLC would lose its corporate shield, and hence the client could be liable for personal liability, God forbid, if they were on the end of a legal dispute. So, for example, January 1st, 2024, a new federal requirement went into place for corporations and LLCs by the FinCEN government, and what this is a requirement for all corporations and LLCs to report a beneficial ownership information report to the fincen.gov website if they are a beneficial owner of that corporation or LLC. So first, you have to be qualified as a reporting company. That corporation or LLC has to be qualified as a reporting company. If they are, then the government will require its owners that are directly benefiting from that corporation or LLC to provide financial information to this government bureau. So someone like our company would be appraising that lawyer who's handling these multiple entities of this new law and regulation. Typically, there's a lot of questions around this, and a reputable company such as our company has all that information, has done all the research. In fact, we have a platform that now can file this beneficial ownership information report on behalf of our clients, albeit them being the end user, the entrepreneur, or a lawyer or financial professional representing a client.
Yeah, fantastic. That's really cool. And those laws and rules are changing, all the time, both at the federal level and at the state
Yes.
level, and it can be certainly a lot to keep up with. Um, I'm curious if you have any particular stories or examples for us of law firms where who've partnered with you and it's made a significant difference for them. Anything you can
Oh,
share with us there? Yeah.
we have tons of law firms that are currently our partners and use us
Hmm.
for all of their clients' business startup filing requests, their compliance requests. Lots of lawyers use us as a registered agent provider for them because they don't want their office to be inundated with service of process mail. So we have hundreds of thousands of attorneys who are currently our partners and use us either as a reseller of our products and services, or they refer their clients to us. In fact, one of our big clients is attorney Darren Kavanoki. And for those of you interested in learning about his story, you can go on our YouTube website and you can see how he's used Corpnet and how Corpnet has really helped him streamline the business filings process for not only himself as an owner of a law firm, but also his clients. But typically, stories that we get from lawyers who start using us for our services is truly built upon the fact that, wow, I was dealing with X company and I really, needed to get a hold of somebody and they wouldn't pick up the phone. So, they come to us because of our customer service and our responsiveness to any of their requests. The other big one for us with lawyers is using our company as their registered agent provider for their clients in any of the 50 states. And what they like about our services as opposed to a competitor's is not only price point, but also the level of detail when it comes to not only accepting a mail and service of process on behalf of the law firm, but also uploading that information to a portal in real time so that not only the lawyer but their clients can have access to it. Another reason why law firms like using us is because of the level of and depth of the information we provide to them and the resource that we are for them with the detailedness of content we provide. Our team of business experts that are always at their fingertips, ready to assist them when it comes to any aspect of the business filings process. Another reason is because we're a full service business filing platform. So it's not just about starting a business, but it also has to do with expanding that business in other states, state tax registration services, payroll tax registration services in all 50 states. If that lawyer needs annual meeting minutes for their clients in any of the 50 states, bylaws, minutes, LLC operating agreements, certificates of good standing, UCC lien retrieval requests. I mean, you name it, we do it. And if we don't do it, we will find a resource that will do it for them and we will refer them out. And so it's a win-win for both us and the lawyer.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Sounds like you've got a lot of great stories. And we'd love to have the attorney you mentioned on the show, perhaps, to share how he's grown
Thank you.
his firm.
I would love that. I would
Yeah.
love.
Well, I've got, unfortunately, we've quickly come to the end of our time here. I've got two more questions for you.
Sure.
The first one is, what is your millionaire mission? And what I mean by that is, what's your future vision, both for yourself and for the business? We know it's not the traditional sense of retirement. So what does that look like?
My mission truly is to continue to follow my vibrational flow and whatever truly comes at me in this moment, i.e., it's about being in the present, and really accepting whatever comes to me today. But as far as a vision, I would say it's really about continuing to create seamless, scalable platforms for our audience, albeit it be a legal professional, financial professional, so that this continued lack of awareness when it comes to the business filings, startup process, compliance process, state tax registration process, and this continued kind of default everyone has about it as to, oh my God, it's so scary, I'm not going to touch it. I want to continue to simplify that process for the end user, whether it be a legal professional, financial professional, or the entrepreneur.
Sounds good to me. I love it. So it sounds like there could be some new innovations and ideas coming from
Yes.
you. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And I'd love to share them when they come out and get on your podcast again. But yeah, you gotta have change, and
Yeah,
growth. Growth only comes with continuing to change and putting out new things into the market. And we're really excited about it. We're really excited about this year and what the future holds for Corpnet.
awesome. Well, Nellie, we've come to the end, but if you would please share with our listeners how they can learn more about you and where they can go. Obviously, corpnet.com or corpnet.com. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So you can always follow me. I'm all over social. I write tons of publications each month on various different platforms, including Entrepreneur, Forbes, Inc., All Business, Accounting Today. You can also follow me at www.corpnet.com. You can email us for further information to info@corpnet.com. And our phone number is 1-888-449-2638. For those of you who are interested in learning more about Corpnet's partner program, you can visit www.corpnet.com/partners. That's www.corpnet.com/partners. It has been such a pleasure to being here today with you, Darren.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another insightful and informative episode of The Lawyer Millionaire. A huge thank you to our guest, Nellie Akalp, for taking the time to share her remarkable expertise and valuable guidance with us. And to our audience, we cannot emphasize enough how grateful we are for your continued support. If you found this episode helpful, we encourage you to subscribe to the Lawyer Millionaire Podcast and leave us a review. Finally, if you're a law firm owner seeking expert financial advice, please visit our website, thelawyermillionaire.com, to learn more about how we can help you achieve both your professional and personal financial goals. I'm your host, Darren Wirtz. Until next time, stay informed and empowered, and we'll see you at the next episode of The Lawyer Millionaire.